Welcome on a journey through the breathtaking history of Java. So, in the 19th century, there was an important event in the struggle for the freedom and dignity of Indonesian nation. Let's explore the war that arouses the spirit of struggle, named the Diponegoro War. In the early 19th century, Java was shaken by dissatisfaction with increasingly oppressive Dutch colonial policy. Amid this tension, Prince Diponegoro, the grandson from the third Sultan Hamengkubuwono of Mataram, led the resistance against the invaders. Before continuing to the next story, let me introduce four important figures involved in the Diponegoro War. The first is Mangkubumi, or also known as the second Sultan Hamengkubuwono, who was the Sultan of Yogyakarta at that time. Initially, he tried to make peace with the Dutch and Diponegoro, but eventually joined the rebels. The second is Kyai Mojo, as a Javanese cleric who played a major role in the Diponegoro rebellion movement. He was famous for his courage to mobilize the masses against the Dutch. The third was Sentot Alibasa, or Sentot Prawirodirjo, who was a loyal commander to Diponegoro and was known to be brave on the battlefield. And the fourth was Baron, or Raden Mas Said, another commander loyal to Diponegoro and famous for his leadership in organizing resistance forces. Finished. So those are the four characters involved in the Diponegoro War. So let's move on the next part of the story. In 1825, the Diponegoro struggle reached their peak. Diponegoro's forces succeeded in seizing several strategic fortresses and winning a series of battles against the Dutch. However, the superior colonial powers made the struggle more difficult. For 5 years, the Diponegoro War has eaten enormous casualties and damaged infrastructure on Java Island. The conflict reached a critical point when Dutch forces regained control of several territories previously occupied by Diponegoro forces. In the 1830s, Prince Diponegoro was captured by the Dutch, marking the end of such a fierce war. There is a complete story about the capture of Prince Diponegoro. Here's the story. The Dutch East Indies government understood very well that their success in ending the Java War depended heavily on the capture of Prince Diponegoro. However, trying to catch him is not easy. The Dutch attack on Jekso village in July 1926, for example, ended in failure after Prince Diponegoro managed to escape as a spy. At the end of 1829, Prince Diponegoro felt that his fate would soon be determined. After almost being caught on November 11th, he had to survive alone for 3 months. His condition became even more difficult after he was hit by a serious attack of tropical malaria, forcing him to hide in the forest of the West Bagelan area. The Dutch even held a large-scale competition with prize money worth 20,000 guilders to capture Prince Diponegoro. When General de Kock learned of his whereabouts in the Remu Jatinegoro thick forest, he took the unexpected decision by ordering colonial clearance to try to persuade Prince Diponegoro to negotiate. By utilizing cultural values as a weapon, General de Kock succeeded in persuading Prince Diponegoro to negotiate. Although Prince Diponegoro was finally arrested on March 28, in 1830, after surprising negotiations, his testimony shows that he always knew that his arrest was only a matter of time. After being arrested, Prince Diponegoro was exiled to Manado, North Sulawesi, before finally being transferred to Fort Rotterdam in Makassar. He finally died on January 8 in 1855 and was buried in Makassar, South Sulawesi. The Diponegoro War is not only a historical event but also a symbol of the spirit of struggle and revival of the Indonesian nation. The legacy of Diponegoro's struggle continues to inspire us to defend the independence and dignity of the nation. Thank you for being kind.